Alright guys, we're back at the mill. This little clamping situation here of the gib has not worked in the least. I ruined another part just trying to clamp it with those two small clamps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rectangular piece of steel now, and I'm going to throw it in this small auxiliary vise. This is my little 3-inch vise. I just set it up on the table and trammed it in to make sure it was straight. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a little fixture plate with a bunch of, not a bunch, but a few tapped holes, threaded and tapped holes, so I can go ahead and put little mini clamps on the gib and hold it a little bit more firmly. Ideally, I like to make a fixture that you can actually set the gib in, an inset, kind of like the jaw to hold it, so it doesn't move, and make it for the exact size. But I feel like that's going to be a wasted effort because I don't know if I'm ever going to make these again. Certainly not going to do a production run of them. So I feel if I do go ahead and just put a small rectangular plate, drill and tap some holes here, I can always rest this gib up against this upper jaw here, or in this case lower jaw of the grinding vise, and just hold it. That will hold it flat and true to to doing something like this. So let me go ahead and find a piece of steel and set this up, and we'll come drill some holes. Alright guys, so I just found a small piece of steel. I'm only going to drill 2 holes. I just need 2 clamps just to hold that gib down. So I put it on my surface plate and I just kind of marked for the 2 holes where they're going to be, and I think that should be fine. And so I scribed the lines. I'm not going to get really super fancy. I'm going to drill and tap for 1/4-20. I have my drill for the 1/4-20 because that's the tap I have. I have the part in my vise is tightened up. I have to get a proper vise handle. But that's, maybe we'll make one. That'll be a future project. But we're just going to drill and tap this. And then we're going to probably just flip it over. We'll leave the y-axis in the same. I'll just take this part out of the vise and I'll scribe on the other side, and we'll just do it. That should be fine. Alright guys, we flipped our part over. Now we're just going to drill the other hole for the other side. Alright guys, we didn't have room to get the tap with the tap handle in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and freehand the tap. I'll do it on this side and then just kind of bring it over. Trying to bring it in a little bit better. Okay guys, we're back. We have a new setup. I those little clamps just weren't cutting it. So I went ahead and I cut a piece of, or I had a piece of scrap or just a cut off of, I think this is 1/4 inch or maybe even 1/2 inch steel. And I drilled and tapped a couple 1/4 holes in it. And I just kind of made up a couple small clamps. I really don't have too much going on here in the way of small tooling. I wish my boys Lance and Patrick from Active Atom didn't live so far. I could run over there and grab some of theirs to borrow to use. But anyway, gonna have to make some small toe clamps for this small type of work. But I've went ahead and figured out how to line everything up and mark everything, and so I went ahead and I've got the 4 holes successfully started with the little starter drill. Now what I'm going to do is to get the depth accurately. The last time I tried to do it, this whole thing that I worked out here with my deep hole stop and such didn't really work out too well. So I'm going to pull this part out of the fixture. I'm going to put the original back in. Then I'm going to go ahead and bottom the drill bit on one of these existing holes. I will go ahead then and pull that original part back in, put this new part in, and I'll have that zeroed out perfectly so we won't have any errors. And we need to get this part done already. This is dragging on way too long. I mean, yes, I'm very happy. It is a beautiful Saturday today to be in the shop. I hope you and your family are staying safe from the whole COVID virus and not social distancing, but physical distancing. We need to clarify that for everybody. So I hope you guys are all well. I hope there's no one sick and in the hospital with their health failing because of this. So let me get this part set up, and then we'll come back and we'll go ahead and finalize these holes so we can get this shaper in action. The whole reason behind this project is we need to cut a keyway in some of our CNC pulleys for the CNC Bridgeport. Very excited to say I have just about all the hardware or the electronics that are necessary to finish the job. I ordered breakers, I ordered line filters, I ordered all kinds of cabling, wiring. I'm getting some back planes cut out of aluminum for the CNC cabinets. I have the phase converter. I'm going to end up using a electronic phase converter, so I can actually program the speed of the spindle with the computer. So I'm very excited on that. So this is necessary to get that done. And okay, I'm gonna get this set up and I'm gonna come back when it's all ready to go. Alright guys, so we have our original part back in, and so the X is not going to change, and we have that table locked on the X, so we're not moving left to right at all. But we have to figure out a way to go ahead and get our part back to 0 in the Y-axis. So the way I've done it is I've kind of set up using the edge of the grinding vise as a stop. So I'm just kind of taking this small piece of steel here and pushing that up against the workpiece or the original. And I'm just tightening my clamp down. Okay, and then on the opposite side, I'm just using a small screw and a couple of washers just to kind of... Now this is not optimal either as far as, you know, the way to clamp this part, but it's a lot better than those small clamps I had before. Those just were not cutting it at all. Okay, now I can pull the starter bit out. put the proper drill in. Okay, and we'll get rid of, get you in to our pull you back a little bit. So here's our setup. We're going to get rid of this Starrett snug. We don't need that anymore. And I did pull my dial gauge out. So we're going to put that back in and lock that up on the quill. Go. Now we're going to take our drill bit, we're going to bring it down to its bottom. That's its bottom. Now we're going to set our depth stop. And it's not actually a stop, it's just a reading on the so that's 0. Okay. Now let me pull the original out. And I'm going to go ahead and put the new gib in the vise and reclamp it. And our DRO is all set now, so we're really just going back over our spacing, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to have our part complete. Okay, it's our original. Here's our new part. Wipe that off real good. Get some of those fine. And of course we pray that we orientate it properly. I hate to screw it up now. Just get this little clamp snugged slightly. And then I'll take my piece of steel here and just get it right to where it needs to be. There's not a lot of room, but it is what it is. Ouch. Sorry about that. Scratching up the mill. Scratching up Bessie, we're just not having it. Alright guys, let me double check and make sure that the drill bit is tight. I hate to have it move now. There we go. And slow and steady is going to win this race. Slather a little oil on there. Unlock the quill. tell you what, I really don't even care for this. I think the bit has got a lot of stick out. I don't know how far I can move that bit in. I hate that, and I feel it's moving over a little bit. All right. I don't have an air hose over here, but I tell you what, it looks like we're good. It looks like we're really good. Wish I could blow this out. That looks nice. Let's go to hole number 2 and see how we go. Alright guys, let's pull this out and see how it looks. I mean, from my perspective, it looks fine. So, a couple things. I'm going to make more of these if I am, and I might, now that I figured out how to do it. Stubby drill bit, a dedicated fixturing plate. Get rid of all this crazy setup here. I know it's okay, but for a one-time job, but I might like to make this for a 9-inch South bent as well. What's your thoughts on the difference between this one and a tapered one? Which one would be harder? So let's get this out of here. Let's get it cleaned up. Let's see how it came out. I'll be very happy to have this job finished so I can go use my shaper already. We go wipe off the shmoo. Alright guys, so we're back at the bench. Here's our completed part. Here's our original part. You can see how bent up it is and hacked up. I'm happy with the way it came out. If I had to do it again, I would have done a couple things differently, but that is part of the process of learning. I went ahead and I stoned it down just to get any kind of rough edges off of it. It fits in there very nicely. So we're going to go ahead and install this back in our shaper. And our next project, we're going to build a boring bar so we can cut the keyways into our CNC milling machine pulleys. So thanks for watching. please share, like, subscribe, all that stuff. I would appreciate it. I'm having fun on my channel. I hope you guys are out there staying safe. I hope, if any positives come from what's going on in the world today, is that you can get a few projects done. I hope you and your families are all well. And God bless everybody, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you for watching.